Hi, I'm waiting for a friend, and so I wanted to take a minute and just share a quick thought. And it's something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and that's been on my mind because I've been feeling a lot of fear lately, doing new things, and my life has changed a lot over the last year. And I think anytime we transition from one way of being into another, there's a lot of fear that accompanies that. And I feel like I shouldn't be afraid, right? Like I feel like I have this big toolbox of life coachy things that I should be immune from feeling negative feelings because I have all the tools. And yet, there they are. And I'm human. And you're human. And one of the most powerful things we can do, one of the things that can bring us the most peace and open the door to the most fulfillment, is allowing ourselves to feel what we feel without judgment, without, just from an observation perspective, like, oh, right now I am feeling fear. Oh, right now I am feeling anxiety. And stop judging it and stop adding these layers of shame and judgment on top of it that make it so much worse. Because if there's something happening, I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling fear about stepping into this new role. And so that's suffering, right? The fear, that yucky feeling I feel is suffering. And then what happens is I think I shouldn't feel that fear. And so now I'm adding another layer of suffering on top of it because now I'm feeling the fear and I'm judging it. So I'm feeling the shame about feeling the fear. And I think we do this in so many circumstances, whether we're dealing with grief, whether we're dealing with depression, whether we're dealing with just relationships and being angry and resentful when we don't want to be. I'm not saying we shouldn't aim to be better, but adding the shame in the moment doesn't help. It doesn't fix it. And that's really counterculture thinking, because we think that if we want to get better at something, if we want to be better, do better, then we have to like crack the whip and like punish ourselves, because punishment is what, is what gets us to where we want to go. And I'm telling you, it's not true. If you did an experiment and tried just observing and accepting, not justifying and condoning, but just observing and letting your feelings be what they are, and you were to test that for like a month and see how motivated that made you versus our natural reaction, which is to shame and judge and crack the whip and whatever. If at the end of each of those 2 months you were able to compare and to see which one produced better results, I promise you it's going to be the one where you just let yourself be, because it's easier to make changes and to make good choices when you're in a place of like neutrality rather than in a place of like trying to remove that layer of shame and then remove the layer of suffering. So anyway, that's the quick thought I want to leave you with today. Let me know if you've had any experience with that, how that shows up for you, how you relate to it. I'm really curious to hear how that goes for other people. And I have some really good podcast resources to Brooke Castillo, the Life Coach School podcast. She's got some really good tips in her podcast. And then the Secular Buddhism podcast is really good at addressing a lot of these things too. So, and Pema Chodron, if you are into audiobooks or reading, she's really amazing as well. So, okay. Hope you have a great day.